Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. I as always am Grestar and this is another reaction to a death battle, Sanji versus Rock Lee. So of course make sure to click the link in the description below to go to the official release first. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Watch that there, then come back here and we'll watch it together. So yes, Sanji from One Piece versus Rock Lee from Naruto. Now I've watched a fair chunk of Naruto, but this was like years ago when I was in 8th grade, thereabouts. And so I definitely don't remember everything. I watched, I think, all of the original Naruto, and then up to about episode 50 of Shippuden. So I got to see some cool fights, like, with Rock Lee against, I think his name was Kimimaro, the bone guy, against the lightning guy. Drunken Master stuff, I loved that. Like, AMVs of that when I was growing up, I loved those so much. Those were great. But, like, I've never really seen One Piece. I say never really because I remember seeing like one scene on 4Kids, which I hear, yes, the 4Kids dub is terrible, but that's what I had. And yeah, it was just like Luffy eating the fruit that he wasn't supposed to, that gave him the rubber powers or whatever. So I don't know what to expect from Sanji. I know that the Naruto verse becomes pretty insane, with what Naruto is able to like do and withstand. And I'm pretty sure that Rock Lee is still like in it at that point, like he's still an active player, but I don't know if he can scale to Naruto, much like you couldn't scale Launch to Goku just because Launch is in the same universe and happens to know that main character. So, I can't say that Rock Lee is as powerful as Naruto. I'm just saying, I know that Narutoverse does get surprisingly powerful, but I don't know really at all what the One Piece universe is capable of. I know that there's been at least one other One Piece character. No, I think two, Zoro and Ace, right? They're both One Piece. They were both in death battles before. But like, do I remember them super well? No, I don't. I don't remember things well. So I'm gonna have to rely on the analyses here to help solidify my decision. I'm hoping that my boy Rock Lee will win, but we'll see what happens. So with that, let's get to watching. So here we go for another death battle, Sanji versus Rock Lee.
There are so many heroes with crazy, over-the-top superpowers.
Very true.
But there's one class of character everyone respects. The master of the martial arts.
Oh, I thought he was going to say like the underdog.
The chef of a straw hat pirate searching for the One Piece.
Because Rock Lee is totally an underdog,
The hard-working ninja warrior from the village of Naruto.
Like, his story is great.
Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
I think Boomstick was a little impressed right there.
Somewhere in the vast ocean is a seafaring land of science, the kingdom of Germa.
When the king of germs decided to churn out some kids,
Okay.
he got an awesome idea. How about he make his kids into killer, emotionless super soldiers?
Oh, of course.
What could go wrong?
He forced his queen to undergo surgery that would enhance their children during pregnancy.
What?
Yeah, she wasn't much of a fan.
What does that even mean?
So she took a drug meant to counteract the effects to hopefully ensure that at least one of her children was, emotionally stable.
A surprisingly low bar to aim
Oh,
for,
no.
but hey, good for her. And she pulled it off.
Oh.
While most of her children
I was like, did she
were
die there?
violent sociopaths, one showed no signs of their shared superhuman genetics. This is Sanji.
Oh.
The poor kid didn't have a great childhood. I mean, he was surrounded by actual superhuman bullies. But he found peace in cooking for his mom. Well, until she died, and then he was thrown in a dungeon.
Oh,
Look,
no.
I told you his childhood sucked.
No.
Fortunately, Sanji eventually escaped thanks to some help from his sister, who I guess was slightly less of a sociopath, and made his way across the sea as a cook. Until he was shipwrecked and left marooned.
Poor dad
as it
just
happens,
can't catch a break. But Sanji found a new daddy in the form of Pirate Red Leg Zeph, who trained him in his own martial art, Black Leg style.
Okay.
Shouldn't that be Red Leg style?
I don't know.
I'm confused.
Yeah.
It's an art that focuses exclusively on kicks, which worked out swimmingly for Sanji.
No.
What do you...
Puns are my job. I
But
don't need
why?
you pirating that from me.
As a chef, Sanji firmly believes his hands have no place in a fight.
Okay, thank you.
To him,
I wanted the
they
explanation,
should be kept
yeah.
as pristine as possible for cooking, which is frankly wonderful etiquette. Even if his own life is in serious danger, he will not break this self-imposed rule.
Huh.
You gotta hand it to
Okay.
him. Black Leg is like taking capoeira, taekwondo, and every other martial art with high-flying footwork and mixing them all up like a stew. And just like a tasty dish, he named his attacks after a bunch of French words, which I definitely cannot pronounce.
Though
Yeah, I
the most
don't know.
important to recognize is Diable Jam,
Diable
also
Jam?
known as the Devil Leg.
Oh.
By moving at incredibly high speeds, Sanji builds up friction between the air and his leg until it literally catches on fire.
That
To do
seems
so, he'd have
more
to be
painful
moving
for
his
him.
legs over 11,000 meters per second.
Yeah, that move's pretty lit. Clearly, Sanji's super fast. He's quick enough to keep up with the pirate captain Luffy, who effortlessly dodged laser beams from a robot man bear guy. It's a long story.
That's One Piece in a nutshell. A very,
I don't know if I want to call that dodging. He like did
Sanji's
that.
got plenty of other
I feel like the
skills.
thing
He can
just
kick
missed.
Your face so hard it makes you as handsome as that devil George Clooney.
Wait, what?
Oh, brother. Then he can start blasting and Danny DeVito you back to normal with another.
And with the sky walk technique, he can literally walk on air by, listen to this, flicking his heels so quickly he creates dozens of miniature sonic booms beneath his feet. That is insane.
Yes.
Note to self, never skip leg day. In fact,
Huh.
forget the other days, all days are now leg days.
Sanji eventually found a true family as a chef for the Straw Hat Pirates. With them at his side, he began a hunt for the All Blue, a mythical location where every ocean in the world connects and all manner of sea life exists. A perfect spot for a chef of the sea.
Oh.
But just
Okay, I was like,
all
why
of
does
us,
that
he had to
really
deal with
matter?
his first and much crazier family at some point.
like, wow, there's so
And
much
when he
water.
did, he got an upgrade.
This
I
is
don't
the
like the
Raid
ocean.
Suit, a miraculous outfit with hover boots, invisibility, air boosters for increased kicking power.
And a snazzy cape.
Conveniently, the suit is stored in an easy-to-carry canister that can be opened for a magical girl transformation, like so.
Oh.
Is this beer?
Wait a minute, if that's my beer, what am I drinking? I'm gonna
Hey.
either need to go to the bathroom or the hospital.
While Sanji may
Maybe
not possess
both.
the superhuman ability of his siblings, he has learned something similar yet
He
entirely
has
different.
superhuman powers.
Hockey.
Gazoo
Shut
that.
up, like-
This power lets people push their body to new limits in a bunch of different ways. Like with armament hockey, he can make himself hard.
Specifically to strengthen his limbs for ironclad defense and stronger attacks.
Uh-huh.
However, Sanji's own speciality is Kenbunshoku, or observation hockey. With this, Sanji can detect the presence of others, including through walls.
Okay.
He can even predict future events, at least to some extent.
Oh.
And hanging with the Straw Hats let him push his abilities to the limit. He's strong enough to keep up with the likes of Zoro, one of the deadliest swordsmen in the friggin' world.
And he could battle the marine Fujitora, who could summon meteors from the sky, the largest of which, when compared to the island of Dressrosa,
Uh-huh.
appears to have a diameter of over 780 meters.
Right, I would agree with
and
that.
thus a kinetic energy of over 12 gigatons of TNT.
Obviously.
So, like, he fought a guy who could basically blow up a whole island in a snap and then some. Let me know the next time you find a cook who can pull that off.
He has his fair share of weaknesses, though. Sanji sees himself as a gentleman and thus refuses to fight a lady at any cost, even his own life.
And, he's absolutely terrified of drag queens.
Oh.
That didn't age well.
But even with
No,
the
it did
setbacks
not.
and a horrifying childhood, Sanji is a man of the moment, an adventurer with a goal. One day he will surely discover the All Blue, and whatever else comes after that.
I was looking for a light. Appreciate it.
Well, the woman thing wouldn't really come into play fighting against Rock Lee,
Konoha,
so.
the village hidden in the leaves, is a land of phenomenal ninja.
From Naruto to Sasuke to Kakashi, we've seen them show off their awesome talent on Death Battle before.
That's right,
But
we
one
have.
ninja student sought to prove that talent wasn't naturally born. That talent could be achieved through nothing but hard work. This is Rock Lee.
And you think that's the difference between talent and
First,
skill?
Cut's path to being a ninja was anything but promising. See, the best ninja can use all sorts of ninja magic called ninjutsu
Yeah.
or genjutsu, but not Rocky
He's
over here.
taijutsu.
Essentially, Lee was born with a disability, unable to access the living chakra energies within his body the same way his peers could. But while this certainly made things difficult for him, he continued to train, pushing himself to become a splendid ninja.
Too bad he got paired up with Neji, who might as well have the word prodigy stamped on his forehead.
Yeah.
Hello, irony.
With no real family to speak of, Lee had no one to guide him on his difficult path. Fortunately, he found inspiration in the form of a fellow bowl-cut individual.
That's right.
White guy, a man who is simultaneously incredibly cool.
Rock Lee adopted
and
like
incredibly
everything
weird.
about him.
Guy saw Lee's potential and trained him to master the art of taijutsu, a ninja's physical prowess using chakra, body, and mind.
So he's not gonna be shooting fireballs or popping up clones of himself like
Right.
the other guys, but he's gonna learn how to punch harder than anyone. Actually, that's exactly the point of his martial art. Strong fist, a style that's all about shattering bones.
Not just
Oh.
any ninja can master the form of strong fist. In the hands of a novice, it's a dangerous technique. One wrong move and you could accidentally break your own limb.
Which you want to
Lee
avoid,
quickly got the
typically.
hang of it and even learned some awesome moves, like this killer Azuna drop on steroids, the primary lotus.
A technique so useful that many other ninja tried to copy it for themselves.
What a bunch of cheaters. He's also got this potion, and if he drinks it, he goes into a super zen state
Yep.
that makes him basically
That's what it is.
invincible.
It's a potion.
Incorrect as usual, Boomstick. That was due to American censorship.
Right, it wasn't
Yeah,
a
it was
potion,
sake.
it was sake. Somehow,
Oh, sake?
Lee's
It's not sake?
susceptibility to alcohol turns him into an instant expert in the drunken fist, based on an actual martial art.
You know, Wiz, I've always wanted to try that style myself, and I'm not gonna
I've seen
lie,
that
I'm happy
movie.
for you. What's this?
Because I like Drunken Fist. It's impressive.
Oh,
Correction. Real drunken boxers only emulate the movements of the inebriated. They're not actually ow, ow.
Well done.
piece of cake. Anyway, when Rocky Road isn't totally sloshed, he's got one more ace up his sleeve. The 8 gates.
In the world of Naruto, 8 metaphorical gates exist within the human body, inspired by real-world Buddhist teachings of opening one's self to achieve enlightenment.
Okay,
But
yeah.
in Lee's case, it's opening a can of whoop-ass.
Think of it like that horrible myth about humans using only one small part of their brain.
yeah, right.
Each open gate increases Lee's abilities in some way. For example, the first gate allows Lee to utilize 100% of his body's potential by removing inherent mental and physical inhibitions.
Okay.
The third gate lets him expend enough chakra all at once to perform his signature technique, the Hidden Lotus.
The first few gates are pretty chill, even if they do wear him out. Thing is, the more gates you open, the more dangerous it gets. But Lee wasn't afraid.
By the age of 13, he could unlock 5 of the 8 gates.
Wow.
More than enough to keep up with the likes of Neji and honorary Green Day.
Is that how
member
old they were at
Gaara.
this point?
He's almost as quick as Naruto, who's dodged light speed attacks. And when he opened the 6th gate, he used it to slice up a giant meteor.
Comparing the scale of the meteor to Konoha's mountainside, and assuming Lee contributed his fair share to this group task, he must have produced a force equal to about 230 megatons of TNT.
The average nuclear bomb has a yield of about 5 megatons. So getting hit by 6th gate Lee is like having 50 nukes exploding in your face.
Right.
Now, Lee has admittedly never used the last 2 gates. However, there are multiple
wondering
claims
about
that
that.
he's mastered them by adulthood. And frankly, as the successor to Might Guy, who did unlock all 8 gates, Lee should be comparable.
Guy could
Should
make a
be,
blast
okay.
the size of an island with the 7th gate. With the 8th, he could go head-to-head with the ultimate big bad, Madara. This creep was packing more power than when Naruto's chakra blew a hole through the moon. A 400 petaton explosion. That's way bigger than 50 nukes.
Yeah?
Now, the 8th gate can bend the fabric of space.
Just one small problem. Opening the 8th gate puts an immense toll on the body. The moment you open it, you've essentially guaranteed your own death.
Yeah, but who cares as long as you take your foe with you.
Under Guy's training and with the help of his friends, Lee has shown that he is indeed a splendid ninja. Though he never quite got the chance to prove himself against Neji.
Well, according to the wisdom of Gammy Boomstick, one's dead and the other isn't, so I think I know who
All
won.
right, fair enough.
Stick. Now the villager's expert instructor in taijutsu, and with a kid of his very own, it seems Rock Lee's hard work truly did pay off in the end.
Okay. Well, this is an interesting one. It is.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time
For a death battle and pause. Right now, I'm thinking that Sanji is going to win, which disappoints me because I like Rock Lee better. But, like, here's the thing. Until we got to the point where they mentioned the 8th gate, everything seemed to be in Sanji's favor, you know? Like, the size of the meteor was, I think it was bigger in Sanji's case. Like, I'm pretty sure it was measuring, like, gigatons rather than megatons, you know? And they were saying that he could do that and then some, I'm pretty sure, right? So, like, that and then that and then some. I'm sorry. I'm tired. And, you know, Rock Lee's too, they were just like, if we're assuming that he did his fair share, because it was a team effort, so like it was a smaller meteor, it wasn't just him, and it was a smaller amount, period, you know? Unless he were doing more than his share, but, you know, I don't know how you would be able to prove that, right? For the sake of, like, getting a good stat. There also seemed to be speed in Sanji's favor, where he was able to, like, hit Luffy and everything, right? Who was apparently, like, just easily dodging lasers, which, you know, speed of light, even though, again, I would say that's not really dodging, because if it wanted to hit you, maybe go center mass, maybe not, like, try to skim the side of his head, and then he wouldn't have to do just that to avoid it. But, yeah, you know, that kind of thing. Sanji also had some precognition, using, I think, one at, like, the observation hockey or whatever, where apparently, I read this in the side box, hopefully I read it correctly, but he was able to, like, shoot, actually, was he able to hit someone? Or was he able to I don't know, but the point was that person with their own precognition wasn't able to, like, predict his evasion or something like that. So, just his observation and his precognition are, like, really, really high, apparently. Like, it's just the only way that I can see Rock Lee winning is through the 8th gate, and the 8th gate apparently also guarantees that he would die, and we don't know that Rock Lee can actually use the 8th gate. They were just giving it to him because they're like, he's never actually used it, but given that he's Might Guy's successor, he probably can. And I feel like something like that is just more to kind of level the playing field, you know? Where they're like, well, it's obvious Sanji would win if we don't give Rock Lee this feat. And so even though he hasn't actually done it on screen or in the manga, we're going to assume that he can for the sake of some balance. That's how it seems to me. You know? Sanji just has, he seems to have way more versatility too, just with all that he can do. Like, his legs can move fast enough that he can set himself on fire, you know? And then he can make them, like, I don't know if it's actually iron, but use the hockey to make them really hard. He can run in the air, and, like, you know, Rock Lee can use chakra to run on water, to run up walls, that kind of thing. He can't run in the air, though. And yeah, he can jump like a muffa, but, you know, there are differences here. And that's not even, I wasn't even talking or thinking at this point about Sanji's suit that, like, enhanced his abilities, you know? So I just think that Sanji is going to win. If Rock Lee wins, I'm, like, positive that it's because of the 8th gate, but I think that Sanji's going to win this one. So, play. What were you doing there, bud?
I refuse to eat this. It's far too mild, lacking in the fiery youth of true spicy curry.
Mild.
I'm not used to him sounding
curry around.
like that.
I see your fighting skills match your skill in cooking.
Oh, also, this is another case of a death battle starting over food, huh? That people have been pointing out.
Show your chef some respect.
Oh, he's drunk now.
Respect? I'm a paying customer, and that curry was awful. Don't you like that? Look at me like that.
He just sounds very black to me, which I was not expecting. Like, I watched the sub, and so I don't know what his English voice actor sounded like, but... I still don't know how much his, like, being on fire would help him.
Eaters are the worst.
Why is everything so loud? Open! Ah! 6th gate of fuel! Open! Huh? 7th gate of wonder! Open!
Are we going for all 8 gates? Well, that was the 7th gate and he just stood up. I didn't catch that. Sorry, Sanji. Oh, that's it's like handsome Squidward.
I am the youthful beast of Konoha. I will never give up. 8th gate of death. Open!
Well, here's the moment of truth. This is the 8th gate. Oh. Oh, his leg. Ah.
Since you wouldn't finish your food, I'm making you cough up whatever you've already eaten. Can't you manage?
Did he cut him in half?
Looks like mild suited you best. My
Yep.
dish is too spicy for you.
The end. Wow. All right.
Well, I guess Lee can finally have that bout with Neji now.
Given
Hey,
Lee's
that's
years of
the thing.
experience and the power of the 8 gates, he definitely kept Sanji on his toes.
But Sanji was no slouch himself, and like Lee, has trained all of his life.
With his speed and observation hockey, he handled even the unpredictable Drunken Fist.
And while the 7th gate meant Lee could probably blow up an island, that's not as big as the meteors the Straw Hats could handle.
Simply put, Lee had only one somewhat reliable method of a possible
The 8th
victory.
gate.
The 8th gate. A suicide move he's never actually used before.
Yeah.
Not really the best argument for a win on its own.
But gate number 8 could take on Madara. Sanji's tough, yeah, but he's definitely not on that guy's level. A couple big hits from the 8th gate and Sanji's nothing but paste, so what gives?
Well, Lee would have to hit him first. While Sanji's power may not compare to the 8th gate, his speed is far beyond. Recall when his fellow rubber rabble-rouser Luffy very patiently waited for a light speed laser to reach him before dodging it. To pull this off, Luffy would have had to move 13 times faster than light.
Sanji can regularly keep up with Luffy, and this was before he even got his super fast raid suit.
Don't get us wrong, the power of the 8th gate is incredible. If we were to run this fight 100 more rounds, Lee would surely land a winning blow with it a few times.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
more often than not, Sanji's speed is pulling
That's what
this
Death
one
Battle's
off.
about.
Given his speed, raid suit, observation hockey, and his fiery footwork, Sanji had everything he needed to outlast Lee's youthful determination for a victory.
Guess you could say he had a leg up on Rock Lee. Hand
yeah.
over fist. Or I guess foot over fist, but you get it.
The winner is Sanji.
Claps for Sanji. What's he gonna do without a leg?
Thanks for
I feel
watching
like
this
he relies
episode of
on
Death Battle.
those.
Come back next week to see previews of our upcoming matchups. If you want to watch more stuff, you can click the boxes right around here.
There are
And
no
you can always
boxes,
pick
I'm
up some
sorry.
DB merch at store.roosterteeth.com.
Next time on Death Battle. It's a hand. I didn't see what. It's another hand. Oh, Hulk versus Broly. Ah, okay. Oh, and this is the season finale. All right. Well, so in terms of Dragon Ball Z, the last episode I saw was Cell finally becoming Perfect Cell. That very last thing I saw. So I haven't started the Cell games or anything like that. So I have not seen Broly. I don't think he's at that point. I mean, I think he's in the movies only, that early on. But I think canonically it's after Cell games, isn't it? I don't know. It doesn't matter. And I know that Hulk gets absolutely insane in the comics. But, Dragon Ball Z is also insane, so we'll just have to wait and see for that. So let's talk about this death battle. So glad I was right, and I'm glad that it was again specifically because the only thing Rock Lee could really do is the 8th gate, and he hasn't done it, and so maybe don't rely on that. Yeah, that made sense to me. This is what I was saying. So glad for that. Sanji, he has so much going for him. Do I still question? I mean, I don't question what they were trying to show with, Luffy dodging the lasers or anything. I'm sure that in the anime he is, or in the manga, both of those, he's that capable. It just seems like such a weird way to prove that to me, where it's I mean, like, you do have to move your head. Like, there is speed involved in that movement, but it's not the same to me as, like, a full body movement, you know? Like, that's what I want to constitute speed. Like, there's the reaction to dodge a laser, but then you have to have, like, the speed to move your body out of the way. And in those instances, like, in the anime, the clip that they were showing, the lasers were only going to skim the sides of his head, so he just had to do that, and that was fine. But I would have been more impressed, and it would have been more of, like, a solid, all right, faster than light, you know, kind of thing, if he actually had to move himself, you know? So, yeah, that's fine. It's a minor thing. Just wanted to point that out because, yeah. I don't really have anything more to say about the analyses or, like, the conclusion. Like, yeah, it makes sense to me. I'm glad that they cleared things up. You know, I'm glad that they mentioned, too, that, like, yeah, Sanji wouldn't be able to, like, withstand a few hits of, you know, the 8th Gate Rock Lee, but he was just that much faster, you know, Sanji was. Because I didn't have that clarification in mind, necessarily, you know? Like, did I think he was faster? Yes. Did I think that he had, you know, a leg up because of the precognition? Yes, I did. But, and did I think that he would have been in trouble had he been attacked a lot by 8th Gate Rock Lee? Yes. But that was it. So I did appreciate the clarification in the conclusion. The fight wasn't my favorite. And, like, it's totally cool if it was your favorite. Like, that's awesome. More power to you. But yeah, there was something off about it. Like, you know, full kudos to the person who, like, did the voice acting for Rock Lee. Like, I hope that made your dreams come true kind of thing. It isn't the Rock Lee that I know, and it was distracting in that regard. And then the animation, like, I don't know, it almost didn't seem that climactic to me. You know, like, Rock Lee started going into the 7th gate, and I was like, already? Like, I feel like almost nothing has happened. I mean, they'd exchanged blows, and I don't know what really could have happened, but there was just something about this fight that didn't hit me in the same way that other fights have. And, you know, it very well could just be that I'm tired. It could just be, you know, one of those kinds of days. But it wasn't my favorite fight. You know, it was entertaining, but far more entertaining fights this season, if you ask me. So, yeah. I'm happy with this death battle, though. I enjoyed it overall. Like, you know, RIP F's in chat to my boy Rock Lee, but Sanji just had more. So let me know what you all thought about this death battle in the comments below, whether you liked it, whether you disliked it, what you thought about this or that, etc., so on and so forth. Then next time we will be watching the season finale, Hulk versus Broly, or Broly versus Hulk, because I don't remember the order it was in. But yes, hope you're looking forward to that. With that, we're calling it here. So have a good one, everybody.